Good morning, beloveds. My voice is a little weird, or I'm a little snuffly. I apologize. It appears that I did catch the cold. I also think that I caught it in time that it's not going to get as bad as my boss did. The business manager, for a couple of days, he sounded really awful. And I clearly have not been that miserable. So, I did go to the park today. It was cold as all get out. There was frost everywhere. It was all amazing. If any of my pictures turned out, the squirrels were not having it until like the last 20 minutes we were in the park, I guess, because the sun had come up and it warmed up enough that they were out. We saw several blue jays and we saw the woodpeckers. I was very happy to see the woodpeckers because we hadn't seen the woodpeckers in a couple of months, actually. And so it was nice to see the woodpeckers again. Yes, but park update. Yay. Okay. Can I have my hand back, please? The cat is holding my hand and licking it. Gotta love cats. They're weird. All right. It is January 13th. Our title is Words of Wisdom, and our author is Sallye Taylor, transcribed from her first recorded lesson delivered at Unity Church of Austin in January 24th, 1910. Excuse me, 2010. I don't want to make Sallye a whole lot older than she actually is. Sorry about that. 2010. Okay, words of wisdom. Sometimes we think we can improve our self-identity, our consciousness of who we are, by making a change in the outer. We think that we can improve our self-concept by getting a new suit of clothes. But all you're going to get is a new suit of clothes. That is only dealing with the outer. Whatever you do in the outer represents only 10% of the work to be done. 90% of the work has to be done on the inner. Changing our consciousness and changing our heart. The change in our life from our place of limitation to a place of unlimited freedom, and our greater good is an inside job. Woo! Okay. Pardon me. That kind of came out of nowhere. This inside job was described by Jesus as the narrow way. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction. And many enter through it, but small is the gate and narrow is the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. And that is Matthew 7:13 and 14. Okay. Hang on, I scrambled my brains. I do not enjoy catching colds. And I enjoy it even less since I started this autoimmune journey. Because, yeah. All of the normal responses when you catch a cold are made weird by the autoimmune. Which I'm doing a whole lot better with. So, I'm working the program. Which is what she's talking about, right? Okay. Seriously, when I sneezed, I scrambled my brains. So, Okay. She's not saying that we can't change the outer and have that go towards the inner. But what she's saying is changing the outer is not enough. All right? If a new suit of clothes makes you feel more confident, then it can lead to inner changes. But it's like putting lipstick on a pig. You just end up with a bad pig, and it doesn't improve the situation. So, if you are buying a new suit, and it, just for appearances, it's not going to help in the long run. But if you are buying the new suit and it improves your confidence, it improves your posture, it improves, then it's at least a step in the right direction. But it's only a step in the right direction. You got to keep doing the inner work. And I don't know what to do with that. I don't recall that narrow way passage. The change in our life from our place of limitation to a place of unlimited freedom and our greater good is an inside job. The work must be done. The work that must be done from the inside out. What is that work? It's about knowing who you are. It's about connecting with the source of your own being. And that's one of the things that I like to remind you at the end, so I'm going to do it now, is if we're going to talk about who we are, then what we want to do is connect with the source of our own being and get to know who the source of our own being knows us to be. And peel off the layers of who we've been told we are. That's the inside job. Because there are a whole lot of people with a whole lot of money in telling you who you are. I say marketing execs, I say ad execs, society, culture, religion, gender normatives. They all have a stake in telling us who we are, which has nothing to do with the source of our own being. Archetypes and stereotypes. Now, stereotypes can be very detrimental. Archetypes can be beneficial, but they can also be detrimental because they're still a label. So if we are going to do the inside work and really change, because she's talking about from a place of limitation to a place of unlimited freedom, then we got to know who we are. And who are we? Beloved children of God. But we are also individualized centers of the divine nature. We are spirit in motion. We are God having an experience of itself. We are God having an experience that it couldn't have without us. That's one of the reasons why everybody is important. Everybody is God having an experience that God couldn't have without them. So, I don't know. I think I would like to hear the rest of her talk, her lesson, because I don't think there's enough in that okay, so then what is the narrow way? And I would suggest that the narrow way is to go to the source of your own being and get to know who that person, get to know who God knows you to be, to get to know the source of your own being, get to know that discover the beloved child of God that you are, and then proceed to treat everybody else as a beloved child of God that they are. I don't know that I have much more to say about that. Although I am going to look up the narrow way. Matthew 7, 13 and 14. One of my teachers, Reverend Norm, may he rest in peace. Although I doubt he is. If I learned anything about Reverend Norm, he is off having a new adventure. But he was a big believer in with Bible quotes, not taking them out of context. Read a few lines before, read a few lines after, read the chapter that the quote came from to get to know what the quote actually means. So that's what I'm going to suggest to you. The mission today, should we choose to accept it, let's go find out what the narrow way is. Let's go see what Jesus meant by the narrow way. They do say that the road to hell is paved with good intentions, and then they do talk about the narrow gate, threading the eye of the needle to get to heaven. Mostly that's about we can't take it with us. So, let's go look up the Bible passage and see what it means and see if it gives us a little more idea of what Jesus was talking about when he was talking about the narrow way. I believe that the narrow way is partly getting to know who God knows you to be. That's my best guess. I'm not as familiar with Unity's theology as I am with some of the other divine science, with like divine science and Christian science. And I can't even say I'm real familiar with Christian science. So, because my area is science of mind and new thought. So, but Unity tends to be a little more Bible-based than we are. Not that Ernest quotes the Bible all the time, so you know what I mean. All right. So that's the mission today. Let's go look up chapter 7 in Matthew and see what Jesus was talking about and see if we can get a little more insight onto the narrow way. The other mission is the same mission I give you every day, which is, it is a spiritual practice of self-care. Okay? Do something loving for yourself. Do something kind for yourself. Do something compassionate for yourself. Whatever that looks like. Big, small, doesn't matter. Point is to practice on yourself. You are your own best test subject. And ideally, by practicing on yourself, the end goal is to make everything that you do loving, kind, and compassionate. Especially the hard stuff. When we can do the hard stuff lovingly, kindly, and compassionately, then that's wonderful. It makes for a kinder and more loving world. And I sound like I'm about to lose my voice. Today could be interesting. Which is fine. It's Saturday. I have nothing to do today but rest. And I'm going to. Let me see if I can get my voice back. All right. I'm going to rest and snuggle with the cats today. Which is basic self-care for me. You know, you want to talk about loving, kind, and compassionate? That is for me. To have a day that I can hang out and just hang out with the cats. And, you know, sit on the couch and snuggle up under blankets with them. And sometimes I want to be under the blankets, and sometimes I want to be on top of the blankets. And most of the time, what's easiest for me is when I have a blanket between me and them, and then put a blanket over them, which is not what you're here for. We're talking about loving, kind, and compassion, right? Okay. What are my basic suggestions? Take a deep breath before you speak. It's easier to not say it than to make amends. Take that pause before it comes flying out of your mouth, especially when you're speaking to yourself. Okay? It is self-talk that sent me into therapy one time because I listened to myself and went, yeah, this is not okay. We got to stop this. Then take a walk, take a nap, take a break. These are jumping off points, not all the suggestions. Taking a walk simply gets the blood moving in the body. Taking a nap, none of us get enough sleep, so rest. Take a break frequently, especially if we run up against, we can't get any further. If we can take the break, then go do something else, then and let that rest, a solution might naturally arrive. So take a break. I'm also a big believer in eating dessert first. I actually do mean eating dessert first, but I also mean to don't save the good stuff. Don't save the good stuff. And, you know, use the fancy dishware now. Wear the fancy clothes now. Don't wait for a special occasion, make the occasion special. And then the last suggestion in this basic in this loving, kind, and compassionate is to make room for joy. Joy is a quality of God. Okay? Therefore, joy is a quality of you. It does not matter what is going on in the world. It does not matter what is going on in your life. You still deserve joy. Okay? Make room for it. Make room for it. Because it is akin to hope, and we need that. We need that. So make room for joy. And it can be, you know, as simple as the joy that I take in that curl that cats do when they curl up and cover their noses with their tails because it's cold. That is joy to me. And joy is the seed of happiness. You know, so happiness is yes, happiness is conditional, but when you have that inner joy, then that is the seed of happiness and you can create it for yourself. And that, again, I talk occasionally about superpowers. Divine joy, creating as the seed of happiness, that's a superpower. All right. The rest of the suggestions are basic suggestions. Do something to engage your mind and your body, whatever that looks like for you. Drink plenty of water. You've already seen me with my water. At least once. hydration is important, especially when you catch colds. You got to hydrate for all the, nonsense going on there. Drink, so your brain works better, your body works better, and your skin looks better when you're well hydrated. Drink plenty of water. I happen to be drinking mineral water, stevia, and lemon. Because those trace minerals, woof, they do not taste good. All right. And get that early in your day bright light. Yes, it was very cold this morning. I think when we got to the park, the car said it was 37. One of my apps said it was 36. One of my apps said it was 34, but the car said it was 37. So I'm like, okay, well, in my area, it's 37. So it was cold, but the sun felt good. The sun felt good. There were very few clouds in the sky. It was a beautiful sunrise. It was just all liquid gold and everything, and it was beautiful. The sun felt good. From 7 to 9 in the morning, the sun is hitting the earth at a particular angle that apparently is very good for vitamin D and circadian rhythms and all that. If that is not possible because it's too cold, or because it's out of your scheduled time, artificial light will help. And if you need more support than the light in your house is getting you, then Google sun lamp or seasonal effect disorder light. I think at this point you can buy light bulbs. All right. I meant my Ernest Holmes quote, open the windows of your soul. Allow the breath of heaven to remind you, you do live in heaven right here, right now. It is all around us all the time. I encourage you to consider heaven. When you consider that quote, there's two things about it. One, it's all God. Everything is made from the same substance. We are all made up of molecules, which are made up of atoms, which are made up of electrons, neutrons, and positrons, which are made up of quarks, which are made up of photons. It's all God. Okay? We're all made of the same substance. It's just really cool. We're just electrons dancing. But it also means that heaven is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. It is not a locality that we have to get to. It's a great word, right? I got it from an author who was quoting Ernest. Heaven is not a locality. It is not a place we have to get to. It is a mindset. It is a state of mind. It is a state of consciousness. It's a state of the heart. Okay? Just like hell is. I mean, you know people who live in hell because they've created that consciousness for themselves. Well, it's the people that live in heaven that are fun and safe to be around. You know who your people are. You know who in your life lives in heaven a lot of the time. None of us are going to be in it 100% of the time. It's, maybe the saints. But, us regular people walking around doing regular things. But we can live in it a lot. And the more we practice, the better we get at it. And the better we get at it, the more often we're there. It is a state of grace because you come pre-installed with Christ consciousness and the kingdom of God within you. You were born that way. All right. It's up to you to activate it. And the password is love. You can also take Emma Curtis Hopkins' advice. Look for the good and praise it. That's a great way. Gratitude is a great way to create that heavenly mindset. All right. And the more you practice, the better you get. All right. Exercise those spiritual muscles. All right. Yep. And I've already quoted Emma, so I'm good. I'm gonna jump off into, I think I'm in the social media part where I remind you that we are Creative Life Spark, Creative Life Spiritual Center, Creative Life Spark on the social medias that we are on. I am the running Rev Ryan on the social medias that I am on. I commend to you the YouTube channels. If you go and subscribe to both of the channels, then when new videos are uploaded, you will be notified. And then we appreciate it when you like, share, and subscribe things, because it bumps us in the algorithms. So we try and put up light, bright, funny, and enlightening and helpful stuff. So check them out. You want to know what's going on with the center? Email info@creativelife.org. That'll get you on the constant contact. All right. Yeah, I need to wrap this up. I can hear it in my nose, and I don't want to sneeze on camera again. I also don't want to upset the cat who's curled up and asleep next to me, and he doesn't like it when I sneeze or cough. Yep, hot links are hot. 1 email a week. Check it out. Okay, so now I'm at the part where I get to encourage you to have a great day, a wondrous day, a fantastic day, a magical day, an enchanted day, a wonderful day, an awesome day, an amazing day, a catter day, a prepping for the weather day, a healing day, a getting better day, a drink plenty of water day, a enjoy some sunshine day, a take care of business day, a take a nap day, a whatever kind of day you need to have day, a good day. And if that is too much pressure, simply have a day. You are enough. Just as you are. You're a beloved child of God. You are spirit in motion. You are God in action. You are a brilliant light. You are a divine spark. Or as Reverend Jesse likes to call it, you're a godling. All right, beloveds. I've already mentioned the truth, knowing the truth of your being. So scroll back a few videos, or scroll back a few minutes there. But explore the truth of your being. It's a good spiritual practice. And it is basic self-care. So I'm going to remind you that Reverend David will be on around 5 p.m. with you. I'll be back with you around 9 a.m. Take care of yourself. Know that you are loved, and I will see you next time.